Sheffield Wednesday have missed the deadline to pay all of their senior players before the end of September and will now face further sanction from the EFL. Football correspondent Rob Dorset joins me right now. Rob, you have to explain this to us, please.
Yeah, it is a slightly complicated one, but in principle, it's pretty simple. Sheffield Wednesday haven't paid their players. It's the fifth time in 7 months that's been the case. So this is a pretty long rap sheet that Sheffield Wednesday have got now. And of course, today is the 1st of October. Whilst the wages are normally paid on Monday, just gone, the club had until midnight last night, in effect, to pay all of the first-team players or face further sanction for breaching the EFL's financial rules. And my understanding is that whilst a lot of the junior players have been paid on time, the youth players have all been paid, and some of the administrative staff at Hillsborough have been paid, the vast majority of the senior first-team players have still not been paid. So Sheffield Wednesday have missed that deadline to pay their players on time, and automatically they will now face sanction from the EFL. I reported yesterday that almost automatically means they will get a points deduction at some point in the future. Why? Well, because they have a pretty long rap sheet now of charges against them. As I say, 5 months out of 7, they've failed to pay the players on time. So whilst it's not the EFL that decide that punishment, that will be an independent commission's decision at some point in the future. They will now be charged afresh by the EFL, and because of that length and breadth of charges that are against them, it's pretty clear that I think they will get a points deduction at some point in the future. Yeah,
do we know how large that points deduction will be?
No, we don't, and it's down to that independent commission to decide. But they have pretty clear guidelines, and one of their guidelines is to look at what's happened in the past. They look at precedent. They look at how other clubs have been punished in the past. And most recently, the most recent example is Reading from back in 2023, when they failed to pay their players. The guidelines back then stated that they could face a 3-point deduction for each late payment breach. If you apply that to Sheffield Wednesday's case, that's a lot. That could be 15-point deduction. I don't think that's going to happen. And if you look at what happened with Reading, they ended up having 1 point deducted. Perhaps a better example is Wigan. They were docked 4 points twice by an independent disciplinary commission in 2023 for paying their players late in March and May of that year. They ended up starting the next season, 23-24, with an 8-point deduction. So Reading got a 1-point deduction. Wigan got an 8-point deduction. I think it's fair to assume that Sheffield Wednesday will be somewhere in between. But the Independent Commission takes all of the individual circumstances into account, which is why it's difficult to predict at this stage.
Yeah, Rob, the supporters will probably feel really hard done by, you know, that they look likely to be punished on the field when all the breaches have been caused by off-field matters.
I think that's absolutely fair and absolutely right. And we often hear that complaint from players as well as supporters. It does seem unfair, but the rules are very, very clear in the EFL handbook. They never speak about it, the EFL, in terms of disciplinary matters. But what you're looking at now is the game last night where Sheffield Wednesday looked like they were going to get a victory against Birmingham City, only for Damari Gray to score a last-minute equaliser. It wasn't even last minute, it was the 99th minute, which would have earned them their second win of the season. But because they didn't get that, Sheffield Wednesday are still on 6 points from their opening 8 matches. And if they do get a points deduction, that's clearly going to affect significantly their chances of avoiding relegation this season. Now, I've been told that the players don't want to boycott future matches out of loyalty to the fans. There's Damari Gray's finish, by the way. What a great finish it was to earn Birmingham City a point. The players themselves at Sheffield Wednesday do not want to boycott matches. They think they're too professional for that. They've got some solidarity with the supporters as well. But there is a possibility that unless or until they're paid their wages, they may consider refusing to train. So we'll see how that develops over the next few days.